Hi, I'm Lachelle Atkins, also known as America's Supermom, and I am excited about Go Shop America. This is an opportunity for small business owners to be able to feature their products on TV. So if you are looking for affordable way to distribute your products, and if you're a consumer looking to buy the hottest trends, then I tell you to follow us at Go Shop America.
All right, all right. Thank you guys so much for being here again on this journey to Go Shop America. We are actually building the plane while we are flying, y'all. So I am learning so much around shopping channels, looking at stuff to kind of see what's actually on the horizon. But it has definitely been a journey, gotten me out of my comfort zone. But really excited because I am definitely not doing this alone. We are so excited to have some phenomenal hosts that are going to be just joining us on this journey of really empowering small business owners to take control of their profitability in a very unique and different way. I say small business owners because, when I think of QVC or other shopping channels, these are a lot of vendors who have thousands upon thousands of product lines with a lot of inventory. But one of the things that I think is so exciting about Go Shop America is that we are able to do this for small businesses where you don't have to have large inventories and large budgets in order for you to get out there and start creating a name and extending your brand in places that really move the needle for helping you to grow and scale. So before we get into meeting our hosts, I do want to introduce myself because a lot of times I go right into these conversations and people are like, well, who is this? But I am America's Supermom. I'm the mother of 15 children. So you see, I just get right to business. Don't have a lot of time. So I just don't cut the chase about a lot of things. But I have been with Zandra TV Network since really the beginning. I was a part of the first incubator for TV producers, and it has been a great journey. So, in addition to being a TV producer, I'm a mental health strategist. I overcame 13 years of depression and 3 hospitalizations. And so now I help executive women to really kind of navigate through life and align their brand with their identity to minimize their stress so that they can shine in the media. So I'm really excited to be here today and to really have this conversation around this new opportunity for small business owners to expand their brand and create somewhat of a collaboration with Go Shop America. So I am going to bring up another host that we are going to be meeting for today and giving her the opportunity to introduce herself and share a little bit about this journey, what she's looking forward to, and just, we're just going to have a quick conversation around it. So I want to introduce to you Zayoni. All right, so she is going to be coming to the stage.
Hey
Hey,
everybody.
good
Hey,
morning. How
how's
are
it
you
going?
doing?
I'm doing great this Tuesday morning. I feel amazing.
Awesome. Now, so you are one of the hosts that are helping to bring this Go Shop America to life. So talk to us about your journey. How did you even find out about it? What are
hmm
you most looking forward to? I have a lot of questions, okay, because I'm always interviewing people, but just tell us a little bit about who you are and just your initial thoughts about Go Shop America.
Okay, so I guess we can start from the beginning. So I graduated recently in May. And, as a post grad, you're like, I don't know what I'm about to do with myself. So that was all me. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm about to do. But I know me and God, we're going to figure this thing out. So somebody I know actually introduced me to Miss Zandra, and me and her began to connect. And she was like, you know what? I think I might got something for you. And that's when she introduced to me Go Shop America and asked me, would I like to audition to be a host and how did I feel about it? And yeah, since then, she held on to me and I went into the auditions and now here I am as a host for Go Shop America and I'm really super excited about it.
I love that. Now, so you mentioned that you recently graduated, which means,
Mm-hmm.
you're from a younger generation, right?
Right.
What are your thoughts around, social selling or live stream selling, however you want to coin it? What are your
Mm-hmm.
thoughts about
Um, Okay, so as someone from the younger generation, when you do think about social selling or a home shopping network, you think,
that?
oh, that's stuff my grandma be watching. But I feel like, as someone from a younger generation, I feel like social selling is kind of coming back around. But the only thing that it's missing is that it's not on television platforms. People sell stuff on
Mm.
social media or they sell stuff on, different apps. But when I was told that this was going to be on TV, I was like, boom, this is what social selling is missing because it's back around, but everyone don't have social media. Everyone is not
Mhm.
on, the internet. People are still watching their TV. So I feel like it should be on there too.
I love that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
so with your recent graduate, tell everybody a little bit about your background. What was your degree in terms of
Mm-hmm.
attracting you to actually collaborate with Go Shop America?
Okay, so I'm what I like to call a broadcast enthusiast because my
Mhm.
background is in broadcast journalism. So the last 3-4 years of my life, I've been studying how to be on TV, how to do media, how to
Mm.
tell stories, how to write stories, how to basically grow a connection between you and the camera, or basically the people watching you. So yes, as a student at the University of Arkansas, go Razorbacks. That was my major, and I was a part of UATV, which is our own local television station
Okay.
that we do in the university, and it broadcasts to Fayetteville or really whoever wants to watch it because we do also live stream it. So I was a news anchor there, and I also was a news reporter there. So I'm just all about storytelling and the camera and how I can put the two together. So when I heard about this opportunity that's with the camera, it's a little bit of a different lane, but like I said, broadcast enthusiast, I can figure out all things media and all things broadcast, and that's what led me here.
I love that, and I love that concept about storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I just think about in my own journey, I have thousands of stories just with my kids alone, right?
Right.
Because every day is an adventure. I was an only child, and then I have 15 kids, and
Wow.
9 of them still live at home. So it's always something. But when you're thinking about vendors who will be on the channel, what
Mm-hmm.
advice would you give them around storytelling? Because I think, we just, a lot of times when we have a product, we're excited about the product. We think that it's the best thing. This is going to be the answer to whatever issue someone has. But
Mm-hmm.
what are some insights or tips that you would share with vendors around the storytelling aspect of their brand?
Mm-hmm. So one thing that I've noticed in this up and coming new age of just digital and media and stuff like that, the audience, they want to feel a connection with whatever they're buying. So for instance, when I'm watching stuff, and if people don't feel a connection, let's think of instance the social media influencers that we have today. If you're
Hmm.
just posting pretty pictures, people aren't going to like your pictures. They want to know who you are as a person, and they want the inside scoop. They want to know you just a little bit deeper. And the same thing goes with brands and businesses. You can sell the most amazing products, but if you are not telling a story to your customers on either who you are, where your business came from, or what these products mean to you, and what they could also mean to the person you want to sell them to, people aren't really going to feel that connection. So my advice to businesses is to find the deeper root of your product, find the deeper root of you and your business, and tell that story to the world because everyone, we want to hear it.
I love that. And then,
Mhm.
a lot of people, they feel like their business is like their personal baby. It's
Right.
something that they birth from the beginning and they watch it grow and all these things. So, what advice would you give them around kind of letting go? Because in this aspect with Go Shop America, the products are going to be represented by the hosts. The
Mhm.
hosts are going to be the ones that are going to be the person that people are going to be introduced to their product by. So, what advice would you give them about kind of letting go or helping to
Mhm.
make that transition successful?
Mhm. So this is what comes to my mind. You have had 15 kids. At some point, you had to let them spread their wings and flourish, right? And I feel
Absolutely.
like that's the same thing when it comes to your business. I know it's your baby. I know you birthed it from the beginning, but at some point, if you want your business to grow, you have to do what's uncomfortable to you, and you have to step out of the boundaries that you have given
Mhm.
yourself and see where that leads your product. Watch how it flourishes and watch how it grows. So that's why if you put it on Go Shop America, we could do something good for you. We can, you know what I'm saying? Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I mean, I think it is, you're bringing up some good points because, that's the only way we grow is to really kind of multiply ourselves. So I think if
Hmm.
I was going to do something and I want my kids to do something, I can grow a lot faster if I allow them to do it and me because it's more of us doing it, whatever it is the goal or objective is, rather than me trying to micromanage everybody.
Hmm.
And if
Exactly.
I'm tired, nothing goes anywhere, rather than us all coming together as a team. So I love that. So
Exactly.
talk to us about your experience because you said that this was a little different out of the
Hmm.
norm of what you went to school for. But this whole experience with auditioning and working with other co-hosts, talk to us about that experience. What's that been like?
I'm not gonna lie. The audition experience was a little bit nerve-wracking to me because I haven't really ever did anything like that before, at least not since high school, because I wanted to be in all the plays and stuff. I wasn't that
Mhm.
good, but at least I tried, okay? Um, so the audition process was a little bit nerve-wracking. I went into the audition process very, very, very nervous. Even
Mhm.
during my audition, I kind of knocked something over, but I had to figure out the skills to the improv skills to kind of pick it back up and talk about it and add it into my sequence. So that part
Mhm.
was a little nerve wracking, but we made it through. And I
Mhm.
remember after my audition, just looking at the judges, and they're just like, and you never know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So I'm like, so in my head, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just say that's a good thing, okay? So yes. And then also being able to connect with co-hosts who also do this with you, I think that's pretty
Mhm.
cool because as coming from someone who's a news anchor, I do co-anchor with someone, and I think it's fun and good to have someone beside you who you can kind of bounce ideas off of and you know, create a little, create more personality to the screen and just, conversation to the screen. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to having a co-host. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think this it is definitely been a learning process for everyone involved. But
Right.
I love what you said around you just got to keep going, right? I had this one story that I thought was hilarious with a friend of mine. She went
Hmm.
for this job interview, and as she got to the person's office, they had her come in. She sat down and uh I think he asked her a question and she just lost it and was like hyperventilating, right?
Hmm.
And he got a phone call. And so he's on the phone and so she rushed out of the office and she goes to the bathroom, to get herself together.
Mhm.
And she is like a nervous wreck. So she finally gets herself composed. And so she walks back out, and she walks past the receptionist thinking, okay, I just need to leave out of here as fast as I can. And see, and so the receptionist said, he'll see you now. And she thought, what? And so she went back in there, and he asked her some more questions. She ended up getting the job. The whole
Wow.
point was he never even saw her hyperventilating because he got a phone
Mhm.
call. So
Wow.
sometimes we can be in our own head around, oh my gosh, I messed up, this happened, and other people are none the wiser. They don't even see.
Right,
So
they
I
don't even
love
see
that.
me. Mhm, and one thing I call that is I say, "Don't ever trick yourself out of your spot," because she was about to trick
Mm,
herself out of her spot, and so that's one thing I say, I'm like, "Okay, don't trick yourself out of your spot." So
I
that's what
love
that
that.
reminds me of.
Yeah, that is,
Mhm,
because we have to talk to ourselves and encourage ourselves,
mhm,
especially when we're doing things that, I mean, even in broadcast news, I'm sure that there are, you have your script on what happens, and then some breaking news comes through,
mhm,
which
definitely.
you have to switch and be ready. So, what are some tips that you would give just the listeners today around being able to pivot? We've had this big, huge opportunity to pivot when it came to the global pandemic. We kind of were
Mhm,
forced and had no choice. But, just with what you're saying with breaking news, being in the media,
right.
there's a way that we have to be flexible and agile, kind of at the same time. So,
Mhm.
what advice would you give the listeners around this? And you've even done this yourself with expanding to Go Shop America being a different type of media for you. So, what
Mhm.
advice would you give them?
I'm just going to go back to what I said about don't trick yourself out of your spot. We live in our own heads. So you can either encourage yourself or you can either discourage yourself. And I think what a lot of people don't realize or notice that on a daily basis, they're discouraging themselves. They're not speaking that, oh, but this can happen. They're thinking, oh, but the bad can happen. So I just want to say, don't trick yourself out of your spot. Don't let your head get too ahead of you. Be in the moment, think about it, relax. If you have to write something down, write it down, and basically just be open to the possibility of new things. Because when Go Shop America, came my way, I could have easily swatted it out the way because it's not what I'm used to. But I feel like you can only get better with trying different things and going a different path you never thought you would go. It's only going to feed into you more. So I say just be open to it and break the barriers that you hold yourself behind, because you're the only one holding yourself behind those barriers. Nobody else is holding them for you. So that's what I have to say.
I love that. It reminds me, I watched the Michael Jordan series, The Last Dance, and there was a teammate who said that he shared, why would I think about missing a shot that I haven't taken yet? And for
Mm,
me, that is so powerful because
mhm,
I thought he was thinking like a winner, right? There
mhm,
was no thought about me losing, about me missing anything. And that's just kind of how we have to be with ourselves. We
mhm.
have been conditioned a lot of times to think about, oh, what if this doesn't happen right? Or, what if nobody shows up? Or, all the problems that can arise rather than thinking about all the things that can go right.
Right,
And I think you bring even more stress to yourself because if you are on a team, then that means you were chosen to be there, selected,
right.
right? So why are you thinking about the negative things that people who are not on the team would be thinking about? You're on the
Mhm,
team for the reason to
mhm.
win. So
Right.
I just think that's powerful.
I like that you say that, because one thing that my uncle always tells me is he was like, if you're in that room, it's not by chance or luck. It's because you are
Mhm,
qualified to be there.
mhm.
hmm
And
Like
we
you're.
often forget that.
hmm
And so it makes a difference, the environment we're in. the routine that we have around encouraging ourselves and the personal growth and getting out of our comfort zone. So I think all that is important.
Definitely.
So what is coming up for you? So you have Go Shop America. You mentioned just recently graduating. So
Hmm.
what else do you see on the horizon for yourself as we quickly approach 2026? I think we're like 72 days till Christmas, which means
Woo! Time's going by
79 till 20.
fast.
I love it. I like to do that and remind myself because you can sometimes get lazy. Oh, I got time. It's
Right.
not even Thanksgiving yet, but I mean, it's right around the corner. So
Hmm.
what is on the horizon for you in addition to Go Shop America?
Well, that is a daunting question. When people ask me that question, I'm like, I get to hyperventilating. I'm like, but I really have no idea what I can say what's coming next. But what I
Hmm.
can say that I just have such a positive outlook on the future.
Hmm.
It's not scary to me. The same way Go Shop America came to me is the same way I hope I can either go find other possibilities or they come to me.
Hmm.
But also with my background as a news reporter and a news anchor, I'm actually looking into also getting into that as well. I don't want to let my, talents and passions go to waste. So I'm also
Hmm.
going to be looking into that. And for the rest of 2025, I'm just going to take it day by day. And what I always like to say is becoming the woman that God has created me to be. So each day
Mm.
I'm just going to move forward. And you know and I'm when I think about the future, I get nervous, but it's an excited nervous. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? It's an
I
excited
love
nervous.
that.
So hey, that's all I can say.
Anything's possible. I love that.
Right.
Now, being in your age group, what
Hmm.
advice would you give people around social media? Because I know you do great things on Instagram, and
Hmm.
that's where I've seen a lot of your posts and things that you do that are
Hmm.
very inspiring. So, what advice would you give business owners? Because yes, they can connect with Go Shop America, but what other things should they be doing in addition to that as they work on building their brand?
Right. I think that you have to use social media to your advantage. I
Mhm.
think every business platform should have social media account, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, whatever you got, use it to your advantage because little do you know, that's where you're probably going to get, customers from, or just people to connect with you and follow your story. um, Honestly, I just feel like it's best for every single business to have a social media page. Use social media to your advantage. Even when I think about people, if your brand is literally just being cute, post your face on social media. Post your face, use social media to your advantage. I think everyone should use social media to their advantage because it's a new day and age now. You know what I'm saying? It's a new
Mhm.
day and age. Create that content. And we were talking about story earlier. Creating content, get people to connect to your story, get people to connect to who you are as a person. Do lives, live videos, and all that type of stuff. So that's what I say. If you are of this day and age, or it don't even matter, and you want to create a brand for yourself or a business, create that social media platform and use it to your advantage.
Love that. Now,
Hmm.
and I'm thinking right initially because I was that person who was afraid to get on camera.
Hmm.
What am I going to say? Is anybody watching? So, what are a few tips? Because you get on there like it is this, normal, it's natural,
Right.
right? So, what tips would you give people around going live, in order for them to kind of get their feet wet and get started with that?
Hmm. So I say if you're someone who isn't that familiar with social media, or you aren't that comfortable with social media, there's baby steps you can take to doing social media. Maybe you don't want to do a live first because the live, you can't edit, you can't cut it out. It is what it is. So maybe if you want to start by just creating a video that you can cut up, or that you can take certain things out that you're uncomfortable with, or even if you're doing a talking video, some people can get on online and just talk without a script. But maybe if you need to maybe write you a few pointers down, or write your script down that you can continue to follow, and that'll make it easier and more comfortable for you. So I say just taking the little steps, trial and error, helping yourself out, like I said, with the pointers or editing videos, and start with that. And then maybe, just let it continue to grow from there.
I love that. I mean, that's great advice, because I think, a lot of times when we have a goal, we make the goal too big, right? Or the steps to get to it too big, instead of just breaking it down into smaller things that we can be successful with and gain even more momentum, So we just bite off more than we can chew, and then we get overwhelmed, and it's the whole thing.
And then you quit, because when you set a goal that was so high and you just try to jump right to the goal, if it doesn't go the way you wanted it to go, you're like, oh, maybe it wasn't meant for me, or you quit. That's why you just start a little bit at a time until you get there.
I love that, and I love how, even if I think about Go Shop America, we've created somewhat of a community. It's not just one host, there's several hosts, behind the scenes that are helping to that have different perspectives to help this to be successful. Because, when you're doing something new, the only thing that I think about is Home Shopping Network or QVC, and we are a little different from them. We're focusing on, the underdogs, or the little people, the small business owners. So their model is not even 100% the same that we could use, because we're a little different. And so I love that point that you brought up around setting small goals for yourself along the way, so that you can get more comfortable, build up those muscles, or, even be able to pivot, right? I mean, it doesn't make sense to do something and kind of lock yourself into it if it's something new that you are building as you go. So that has just been wonderful advice. So I want to thank you for coming on today and sharing all these beautiful insights and words, and giving the audience the opportunity to get to know you. But before we go, I want to give you the opportunity to share any final thoughts or messages around Go Shop America, around your own brand, whatever's coming up for you.
I just feel super excited to be a part of a business that I've seen grow and grow.
Okay, it looks like she got frozen for a minute there. Gotta love technology, guys. So I don't know if it was me that was frozen or if it's her. But that's just what happens when we're going live, right? We were talking about that. When we're going live, these things happen. So we'll give her a few moments to see if she is able to come back and finish her thought. But that's just some of the highs and lows when it comes to media, and always being ready to take the ball if you need to. So yeah, she was having some technical difficulties, but this was a wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed being able to hear that insight, from someone who is new to this type of platform. I think it's amazing. So we want to thank you guys all for watching today. Thank you so much. And stay tuned for more hosts that are going to be coming up, and we're going to be talking to them, and informationals. We had another informational around Go Shop America. If you are a small business owner and you do have products or services that you would like featured on TV, then reach out to us at goshopamerica.com and learn more about how you can hold your spot and how you can extend your brand in an affordable way with television. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching today. Stay tuned for more hosts that are going to be coming up. But in the meantime, Just remember to keep smiling, stop stressing, because life is nothing but whatever we choose it to be. We can make it hard or we can make it great. The choice is ours. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye for now.
Hi, I'm Lachelle Atkins, also known as America's Supermom, and I am excited about Go Shop America. This is an opportunity for small business owners to be able to feature their products on TV. So if you are looking for an affordable way to distribute your products, and if you're a consumer looking to buy the hottest trends, then I tell you to follow us at Go Shop America.